My name is Schneller Sly, and I design and build gardens. One of my specialties is Japanese-inspired gardens. The word in Japanese for garden is niwa. That word originally meant hunting grounds, the places where people would go out and forage and hunt. And then as society became more agrarian and people were farming and they had houses and they weren't roaming the wilderness so much, that area around their house where they brought plants in from the forest, they began calling that niwa. The thing about gardens is they bring something from our wild nature in close to our cultivated living spaces. And I think that probably is, for me, the main attraction of gardening. Susan, I remember getting your email, and there was this fascinating woman who's a professor of Japanese studies at Tufts, and I thought, oh my gosh, and I immediately Googled you to see what you were like. And I was so surprised that we're almost the same age. There just aren't that many women who were in Japan early on, as late teenagers.
Well, I'm trying to remember how I first heard about you, because I think it must have been someone up here in Rockport, and they said there's this woman who designs Japanese gardens right next town over. I thought, really? You're kidding, right? So I looked you up and I thought, yeah, and it was a little hard, but sure enough, you're Lee Sly, and then I think it said there was definitely a Japanese garden entry on Google for you, and I thought, wow, this is just, it feels like an omen or something. Yes, I got to try this. And then again, you seem so friendly and smart and interesting. And then I discovered we'd both gone to Japan for the first time when we were 17. I mean, there are not that many people out there at our age who've done that.
Yeah, that was kind of an instant bonding thing, like, oh my gosh, and everything that meant, just culturally and as women, emotionally, the whole deal. I remember, going to my host family's house and going in the stone entryway, and then there were these wooden steps, and they were all waiting for me, and I didn't know you were supposed to take your shoes off.
Oh my God!
Lifted my foot up to step on the wooden step, and everybody just screamed.
I know that feeling. It's sort of like, uh-oh, I've clearly done something really bad, and I don't know exactly what it is.
The first of a million terrible faux pas.
Growing up in New England, I wasn't used to warm autumns. I just remember the gardens and going out to parks and into October and November. And then you had the ginkgo trees and the golden leaves just kind of shining like magical things twirling in the wind. And I remember just thinking, this is really different.
Oh yeah.
Because we can go right down through there.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a beauty. And nice and flat.
Yeah, it's nice and flat. It's not all that heavy.
This would be a great rock for naturalizing the smooth outflow river. And it's not doing anything back here. You really can't see it at all from the road. Loose in the landscape, yes.
My name is James Appleby, and I'm the head gardener and one of the lead designers here at Schneller Fine Gardens. Lee and I, we come at things from a really similar place of just wanting gardens to be inhabitable spaces that are tied in both ecologically and architecturally to the structures that our clients live in.
The spiritual qualities of Japanese life are not separated from daily life. The way that, you anticipate the blossoms of a tree that are about to come, especially cherry blossoms are famous that way. And then while it's happening, you're enjoying it and appreciating it. And then after it's gone, there's a kind of bittersweet memory of a special blooming of a plant or seasonal activity. And I love that awareness of time and that kind of sensitivity towards the natural world.
Nami no tsu ni sasajima shigeru isobe kana. Bamboo grass on rocky Sasa Island, lush in the wave spray. I mean, that's a very Maine poem, I think. Yeah, really nice.
Shake is one of the kind of standard Japanese garden design principles. Literally, it means borrowed view. You include in your composition something that is viewed at a distance. In this case, there are these beautiful islands, the Muscle Ridge Islands right out here. I wanted to connect that to the front yard, which was just a lawn going, kind of dropping off to the ocean. I went to Japan as an exchange student when I was 17. I was really lucky to be able to do that. And the family I stayed with was a really special family. My host father was a very emotional Japanese man. He had been tremendously impacted emotionally by the war, by World War II. And he came out of that experience wanting to devote his life to world peace. He believed it with every fiber of his body. He was just so strongly motivated by that. Of the three children in that family, one of them is my Japanese host sister, Yasuko, is one of my lifelong closest friends. And she has carried on that work, working towards improving world understanding and world peace. They have both motivated me to try to improve relations and understanding between Japan and the United States. One of the ways that I do that is by building Japanese-inspired gardens here, but also by taking my crew to Japan. We've gotten into a pattern where every 2 years I take my entire gardening crew, which is usually about 10 people. We go to Japan for 2 weeks. And there's nothing like being immersed in the culture and the aesthetics of Japan. So now I've had the honor of taking dozens of people to Japan and introducing them to the culture the same way that I was lucky to be able to go when I was 17.